Hi, I'm Carole Robinson. Welcome to this edition of County Happenings, where we find out what's going on in the county when we talk to the county mayor, the man on the know.
I don't know about that, but there's a lot going on in our county.
There always is, but at Chambers, it's more and more. The holidays are coming, and lots
And
of things
speaking
going
of
on.
that, we'll have the downtown Franklin courthouse, the historical courthouse, decked out a little earlier than normal. Normally we do that
Just
about
before
a week or about 10 days ahead of the actual Christmas time. But this year they're moving it up for the Christmas lighting, and I think Franklin, it's really a Franklin project, but we do the historical courthouse because that's ours. And that seems to be where an awful lot of pictures are taken of.
It's just so beautiful, even during a normal day. But boy, when it's all decorated up with the lights.
And a few years ago, Carol, we had a snowfall prior to the holiday season, and it was absolutely spectacular. Just beautiful. And so we had lots of comments. Now, I'm not sure if the Mayor Frank had anything to do with snow or not, but we gave him credit for it.
No comment there. Yeah, but the holidays are coming. But we just finished with the celebration of Veterans Day. Really nice parade, naming of a new road. Everybody's been busy.
You know,
renaming of an old road.
Right. Let's talk about that first. Coach Gentry, most everyone knows him by that name around here, but of course he was in the military during World War II. And
fabulous story.
Fabulous stories, written a book. Most everyone has heard his story, does speaking. There's less speaking engagements now than he did a few years ago. But his family farm, the family farm that's been around since, I think it's 1848, if I remember correctly. And most people in this area would know that as where they go take their children for pumpkins.
Or strawberries.
Or strawberries. And particularly this time of year, the Gentry family, his children and the wives and the girls, they all open that up, and almost every day there's events going on out there, school buses rolling in there, and not just from Williamson County, but from other surrounding. And come in, and the kids get to pick a pumpkin and see all the activities, and that's what we refer to.
And they learn a lot about agriculture there.
Yes, it's agritourism.
Yeah.
We've got several of those in our community. Off Arno Road, you've got the Hatcher Dairy. That's very big. But anyway, there's strawberries and pumpkins and things like that. And that's a big push with the current administration in Nashville under the governor's agriculture commissioner is Commissioner Johnson. And the prior agriculture commissioner, they all worked very, very hard to develop agritourism as another way for farms to stay in existence, make money, and encourage people to use their farms that way rather than selling them all for subdivisions. I mean, that's the bottom line, to keep the farm viable so that it can financially do things. Anyway, Coach Gentry's family owns that, and there's a stretch of road. It was actually started by Tandy Rice. Tandy passed away earlier in 2015, summer part, and he wanted, because he played or worked with or
he was a student
of Coach Gentry, and of course Tandy Rice was huge in the music industry, not just in our area in Middle Tennessee, but all over the world, nationally. So he wanted to rename a road or a bridge or something. Well, he called us, and Highway 96 is a state route. And so we told him that your best avenue would be go to the state and try to get that. Well, there's enough red tape to get a road or a bridge. It's a lot easier in the county or the city. But and part of that road was in the city limits, and then of course the rest of it is in the unincorporated. But the whole road's a state route. State Route 96.
New Highway 96.
New Highway 96. That's,
Which has been there for, what, 35 years?
yeah, it's still new though.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find a way to name it in front of his farm. And finally, we just kind of had to say, let's just do it. So with the aid of Jack Johnson and Glenn Cassida, Charles Sargent, Jeremy Durham, they all signed off and got the appropriate paperwork done. And we kind of were, when Tandy Rice passed away, that left us with kind of holding the bag. So, of course, who always picks up the bag? Diane.
She runs the county anyway.
Well, she jumped in. She said, well, what do you think? I said, let's do it. So then we had to contact, because we wanted to put a marker from around where the Jewell Farm is, just as you leave Old Hillsborough Road coming back into Franklin. You want to put a marker there, not at a bridge. That bridge is already named.
Right.
And then you want to put a marker
at the other side, kind of designated.
Well, actually, this one was going to be
in the
city limits. So
they have their own
and they have their own
rules
and regulations. So then we had to call the Joe York, who's been a friend of the county. He actually lives in the unincorporated area, but he's in charge of all those projects that go on. So you had all these, it looked like low-hanging fruit, and nobody could get anything done. And then we had to get Eddie Hood in from the highway department. It was absolutely humorous to see 3 different entities. I totally get it why people just say, well, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had all the players, and we still couldn't. So finally, at the end of the day, Joe York said, why don't we make the signs? The highway boys erect the signs, and then we put them up in the wrong place.
Oh, no.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So the state auditors,
oh no,
we covered them in the wrong place, boys. So away we went at it again. I'm telling you, I laughed. I said, "This people do not realize all of the things that went on to get this." And I'm not sure, sitting here today, they're actually in the right place. We're not changing them anymore.
They're in the right place now.
They're in the right place now. So that's how
Whether
we
they
kind of
are or
let
aren't, they are.
And they honor in front of his road, and we may have missed it 10 feet. But then you had to
It's
deal.
about a 2-mile stretch, isn't it?
It is about a 2 mile. And the other thing, anytime you dig, just like
Oh yeah, you're going to
you got to call this 811 number to be sure there's no cables or a gas line. I mean, we had half of the community involved just trying to put 2 little signs up.
I hope Jimmy Gentry appreciates it.
I don't think he even knows all this, but it's the fact of the matter of it. It is the right thing to do.
The community appreciated him to go through so much to do that.
Yeah, and then the parade itself. A lot of people ask, why did we have the parade the day before?
Yeah, that was confusing for a lot of people, and I think that really was a problem for attendance. Now, there were a lot of people in the parade, and the streets were full, but not as full as they normally are because people thought it was going to be on the 11th.
And of course, that's headed up by Franklin and WAKM. Tom Lawrence, who does a wonderful job, takes the ball and runs, and he helps to get solicitors and help pay for some of these things.
Yeah, because you've got police and
shutting
down the street.
You do have some costs, not a great deal, but you do have some costs. And the reason the parade was held a day early, I mean, that's their call, is school was going on, and so they could get those bands and all the kids
and
involved.
It's so important to have them involved.
It is. And now next year, in 2016, that's a leap year, so instead of
it's on a Friday then.
It'll be on a Friday, and we've already checked. That's when the parade will be, on 11 at 11.
So they're not going to have the day off?
No.
Okay.
It just happens that particular day. The kids will be in school. The parade will happen on Veterans Day, which was the old Armistice Day. Many of us remember when they used to call it Armistice Day. But today it's Veterans Day. And then we always have the memorial service and Memorial Day in the springtime. And those are 2 different events. And oftentimes people
confuse them.
Confuse them.
Memorial Day is to memorialize those who gave their lives for our country. Veterans Day is to celebrate anybody who served in the military, living or passed away.
That's correct. And we have a little over 10,000 veterans, according to the state records, that live in Williamson County.
Wow.
Which on a population of 200,000, about 5%, which to me is a good-sized number considering we have no military bases here. The nearest military base used to be over in Smyrna, but the really active one, of course, is in Clarksville, the 101st. Now you go to Alabama and some of the surrounding areas. But as you saw during the parade and your photography taking and you know, it was great for the paper and all that, we have a goodly amount, if that's good English, goodly amount of World War II veterans that are still living and active. Lots of Korean and Vietnam.
Just when I think I've met every one of them, I meet a couple more.
Yeah, I know you tried to do stories on so many of these men, and there's
so
a few
do you
women.
for the to document for the
We
county.
try to do as many as we can, but like you said, they're moving in, and we've got several that have moved in to be with their children or grandchildren, and so they come out for the first time. But we do have a good attendance, and we have and the men.
And we had some from Fort Campbell too this time.
But they really do appreciate it, and I encourage you, put it on your calendar next year for 11/11/16. That'll be on a Friday because of leap year. We'll skip over one day. I didn't realize it was leap year until we got this together. And I thought,
Wow,
well, there it
it's
is.
coming again.
It's coming again every 4 years. So.
Yeah, and it's a real good opportunity to feel real good. I mean, the pride you feel, I get all choked up when I even think about it. When you see these men walking by or driving by in cars, the kids, the JROTC walking by, and then of course all the kids in the band, and it's
and quite a few businesses that come from the nursing homes and from our.
And they try to get their veterans there in their vehicles.
Yeah, they're extended stay places that I'm really very satisfied that in this community there's still a strong patriotic cord that runs through so many of our people, and then honest and genuine, and express that appreciation for you.
And I'm proud of the schools that participated, and also the schools that couldn't participate. Some of them held special events for invited veterans in for breakfast or to talk to the kids, to let kids know the importance. They may not have a veteran in their family that they're close to or anybody in the military, but to talk to someone or to listen to somebody speak about what they did, why they did it. And you know, most of them, it's not just to get money to go to school, it was to serve their country.
And I think another piece, and then we'll wrap it up, I would like to see, in fact, I'm meeting later today with some of the staff to see what we can do. A.J. Christian's our veteran service officer that took Ken Marshall's place. They took Stan Tyson's place. What can we do here at the county level to help promote that? And one of the things maybe is help to develop a website. I know personally, I didn't utilize it, but I know personally that several of the restaurants had discounted prices or free, even up to free, just simply identifying yourself as a veteran. So I was thinking, well, maybe it would be good for tourism to find a website or get the CVB to at least acknowledge those businesses that are willing to cut their prices, reduce rates, or like I said, in many cases, veterans ate free and their spouses. Or you identify yourself as a World War II Korean veteran and they would feed you free. And I think businesses would do more of that if they knew there was some publicity.
And we try to list the ones when they contact us, we try to put them in our paper just to help them out. But we don't always get the information from them.
Yeah. It's very unique.
Yeah, what a county. And now, holidays are coming up. The stores are longer hours, and the county has more traffic.
Yes, we do. We had a meeting. We had a conversation with Ellie Chin, who is our CVB director, and Ellie was saying that we were number 6 in the state. We had 1.2 million visitors in 2014. So that equated to, and the reason I bring that up, our visitors help to hold our property taxes down. And it was nearly $500 per parcel or per household, about $480 some odd dollars that it meant when people come to town through the hotel motel tax. And as you know, they come to town for business reasons or for just sightseeing,
Right.
or sports. That's a big one. That I think in time we're going to see the downtown Christmas holiday season around the square become more and more and more of a tourism area for people. We already do the parade, the Christmas holiday homes, I think is what they call it.
Yeah.
We
Then
do
there's the parade. The parade is on the 5th, is it, this year? I think December
that
5th.
is correct.
And then Dickens is the following weekend, 2 days of, and that brings in hundreds of thousands of people.
And you've got, oh yes, and then you've got the holly trolleys that's just been a hit in the dozen years that it's been around. Debbie Henry does a great job
the
of
light
promoting
tour.
that and
they,
sell them all out.
Yeah, and then they also, on the weekends, I think it's just on the weekends, they, you can park your car at the factory and take the trolley to shop.
So I think in time we'll see more and more of that activity downtown. I think the downtown area of Franklin, and let's not forget Brentwood. Brentwood's library does a beautiful tree lighting ceremony up in that neck of the woods. But the downtown Franklin, the historical sign, in the last couple of years, they're just doing a lot of activities downtown. The businesses, I guess, they're never totally 100% satisfied, but you know
they got to sell totally out to be 100.
But they'll do a good business during this time, and we mustn't forget what the mall does. I mean, it's all important what we do out at the Cool Springs Mall. They'll have Santa out there. They'll have special events going on.
They'll have
caroling
Boy Scouts
group.
selling trees.
That's right.
And
all over this community, and it's not always been that way. You know, there were a few select areas, but now everyone's engaged into the holiday season, and I'm glad to see it. I think it's one of my favorite holidays. You know, the eating, and of course Thanksgiving's my favorite. That's coming up because you don't have to decorate, you don't have to do anything except just eat and enjoy
just make
family.
a turkey.
That's it.
Yeah.
Food's always a big Southern thing.
Yeah. There's a reason that we are the way we are.
Let's just leave that at that. You know, we may be the healthiest community, but not during Thanksgiving and holidays.
Well, turkey's good for you, but
in
I'm not
moderation.
sure. I'm not sure everything else is. Now people are wondering 840 the I-65 between just south of Franklin to just past to almost to 840. I know there's more going on further south down to Saturn Parkway. I hear people saying, "Looks like it's almost done. Looks like it's almost done." Does it really look like it's almost done?
Well, if you left, I think let's talk about transportation. So that's a Tennessee Department of Transportation project, and it's solely their project. At one time, Franklin was going to kick in some extra money for the bridge work at Paytonsville area, but later on changed that, their financial commitment to that but it's still going to have 9 lanes going across the top of I-65 north and south. Now that's 2 more lanes than Highway 96.
Yes.
So to give you some concept, if you're driving from Franklin out to Williamson Medical Center, you're going to cross over a bridge that's got it's 7 lanes, and this one's going to have 2 more lanes. And that work is supposed to be done by early summer of 2016, just next year. Already the bridge is being used. Now there's a few outside lanes are not opened up yet, but the actual bridge is being used to transport cars from one side to the other. It's not perfectly lined yet as they continue the rest of the work. The work out around the truck stop areas, you go to the Ag Park. If you are going 65 south, got off at Paytonsville Road, crossed over the bridge, you will notice there's a new exit there to go to the Ag Park, and the old exit has been discontinued and closed down. The entire work, though, from about midway between Highway 96 and the Paytonsville Road, all the way down to the Saturn Parkway, your question was to 840. All of that's supposed to be completed somewhere in the summer of 2016. Now, the actual completion for the entire project, I think there's still shrubs and a lot of things, but the road is, for the most part, is going to be finished no later than August, September of next year. And talking to John Schroer, the Tennessee Department of Transportation Commissioner, they are really a little ahead of schedule, even in view of the fact in 2014 we had that terrible accident and fire and had basically start all over. It just goes to show you that TDOT or anyone else under emergency situations, you can get projects done in a very, very timely manner. Now,
but that took a lot of cooperation between city, county, and state.
Yes, it did.
Which was hats off to every one of them.
And it was a 91-day project that if you lived on the east side of 65, the only way you could get back over to the Berry Farms area was to make the journey all the way around.
Yeah.
Now, you also have to remember Carruthers Parkway wasn't opened up. It was going long lane to Goosey Hill to Arno Road to come back around to go up to the Franklin side, or it was going out Paytonsville making the loop around to come out through the south end. But now Carruthers Parkway is open, 2 lanes from Highway 96 down to the Ag Park. The interstate is moving better. I realize in early morning and late hours it's not moving at all, but it is. There's a huge attempt to get these roads that are coordinated effort between the state, the cities, and the Williamson County. As you know, we can't take folks like you and myself that live in the unincorporated area of our community. On our tax bill, we pay a nickel for the use and the upkeep and the maintenance and the development of new roads. We cannot take unincorporated taxpayers and spend dollars on something inside the city. So there's always an education piece here to educate people. So what the county is doing, and we just finished signing the agreement, we're going to be looking at 4 unincorporated roads in Williamson County. We've signed a contract with an engineering firm to look and evaluate what can we do in the unincorporated parts of our county to help move the traffic to and from whatever that area happens to be. One of those will be on Arno Road. Arno Road comes off from Highway 96.
Right.
Part of the Arno Road is actually in the city, but Highway 96 is the state route. So we'll take it from the state route all the way back over to 840, and we'll evaluate
Yeah, you've got a whole bunch of new housing developments.
housing developments. We'll look at egress and routes into it, like Goosey Hill, and many, many other roads. Are there better things we could do to help move the traffic faster? There are no traffic lights on that road. Now there's one at Arno Road.
But not between Arno Road and 840.
That's right. It's a straight shot. You slow down when you get to Page Middle, Page High School. But there's lots of what can we do along the way. I think that road, Sneed Road, is being looked at in the same capacity. When you leave Hillsborough Road and drive all the way over to Pasco, back over to Highway 100, that's a very congested part of our county.
And a pretty dangerous route too, because of the up and down and the curves. Something like Arnold Road.
And Arnold Road. You've got Clovercroft that goes from Nolensville to Franklin, that goes mostly through the rural area. Now, a lot of that's in Nolensville city limits or Franklin city limits, but the county can study the impact of that road in our whole community. And then there's one other, and it's just escaping me. Besides, we're going to be looking at Linwood Way. And Linwood Way was the last county road, brand new road that was built, and that was in 92,
Oh, that was
93.
the one that goes over the Berry Hill.
That's the one that goes from Hillsborough Road to Franklin Road. Was put in the
Right through Berry's Chapel.
right through Barry's Chapel. We'll be looking at that. Maybe there's some way we can do directional lighting that, it's right now a 2-lane road, but maybe we could go to a 3-lane, put 2 X's on part of the lanes and let the green one, to help get the traffic moving. We're looking at signalizations at these major intersections, shoulders. End of the day, on some roads, you're just going to have to make them broader. You're going to have to build them out, and that's a long, long capital project. But it still needs to be laid out in some kind of systematic approach. If you're going to widen Arnold Road, if you're going to widen Sneed Road, there's a lot of steps to take before you start laying pavement.
Yeah, and then the congestion that laying pavement causes. So you've got to timing for working and stuff to make it safe for the workers.
Yeah, I think most people realize when road projects are going on, it's very, very inconvenient.
But you got to see past the end of your nose.
That's right. And oftentimes the roads are one issue, but part of it is the underground utilities that are along those roads. That often takes coordination from the different.
It's all those extra fingers.
It's all those extra things that are going on. But again, that's not a reason not to do it. It's a reason to let's get on, let's do what we can in the unincorporated area, and at the same time,
just get her done.
Yeah, we got about a minute left. We didn't get anything covered. Schools, August 2016, Nolensville High School. It's on schedule. Middle, elementary school. All of those things are going on in our county, and
the county's still growing.
The county's still growing.
No gates on the interstate anyplace.
Businesses moving here, expanding their operations. I don't know that we'll do this show but one more time for the first year, but have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, and have a great time with your grandkids.
I'm going to. I'm sure you will too.
And happy holidays to you. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time.
Today the classroom is different.
Learning?
Different.
Teaching?
Different.
Testing?
Different.
Technology?
Essential.
Help us feed our cows.